Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening. I'm your host, Quianna Canada. Welcome to the Quianna Canada Show. It's been a while. I've been studying, but I'm back and back for another episode. I hope you've had a excellent week and that you were able to enjoy yourself. For some reason, my microphone is not sounding as it should. I don't know. Let's see. Testing 1, 2, 3. Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Testing. I don't know I don't know if I'm having complications with my mic, but it's not sounding at any rate, we're gonna continue with the show. Let's see. Okay. So before we get into today's topic, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Remember, your likes and your shares, what it does is it pushes these videos up in the algorithm. It tells the algorithm that these videos are important. But we must remember that just because videos like this are not pushed up in the algorithm does not mean that videos like this are not important. Before we get into today's topic, sorry about the delay. I need to bring an announcement to you, and that announcement is one that I bring in all of my videos, and it has to do with transnational repression. So, transnational repression is where states they reach across their borders to silence the dissent of their citizens, and they do it in a number of ways. And some of the ways in which they do it is through digital repression. So, these are the soft tactics where the state will contract or glued with organized crime groups or even cyber hackers. So these can be individuals in a university, etc. But what they do is they employ individuals with intelligence capacities or IT skills in order to hack into the devices of the activist, the journalist, the human rights defender, or the academic. These are the soft tactics because they're covert and they're difficult to detect. And so it's easier for states to get away with practices like this because, of course, if one person complains about it and they don't produce enough evidence, then the state can write it off as a person doesn't really know that they're being hacked, or maybe they, uh, I guess, didn't remember their password, or maybe they left a doorway open for hackers to attack them. So you can see that it's convoluted, and it allows the state to put the responsibility on the victim. Whereas when we're talking about hard tactics such as incommunicado detention, extraordinary renditions, enforced disappearances, and unalivement, all of these are hard tactics because what it does is it leaves a trail of evidence. So, for example, if the state removes a person from the state or the host country, then there's evidence that that person has been removed. Secondly, if the state unalives a person, then there is evidence that that person has been unalived. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can kind of see that there is evidence of what we call hard and soft tactics when it comes to transnational repression. And so, one thing that, and I'm going to get into today's topic in just a second, but one thing that's important to understand is that not only are countries in the global south participating or perpetrating acts of transnational repression against their citizens, but it is also countries in the global north, such as the Republic of Ireland and the United States. These two countries are engaging in transnational repression. It's unfortunate, but it is the truth. And we can see how these two countries are not being held responsible by the international community. No one is really speaking out about it. No one is acknowledging it. Everybody is turning, covering their eyes, clogging their ears, and closing their mouth when it has to do with the Republic of Ireland and the United States engaging in acts of transnational repression. And so every day, or I'll say the time that I get to create a video, is what I will do is dedicate time to really bringing awareness to these two countries that are actually engaging in this practice and harming so many people by doing so. Now that we got that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Today's topic is, are we being told everything that we need to know about the Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate dilemma? Is the government really being honest with the public about what's going on? As you know, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Tate was being held in Romania on several charges that range from uh, money laundering to et cetera, some of the most extreme charges. And so those charges are trafficking, et cetera. And if you've been following like his story, you understand that for quite some time, Andrew Tate was actually being investigated in Romania. And so what they did was they, I think, investigated him and then arrested him and then let him out and then rearrested him and then let him out and then confiscated his funds and confiscated his vehicles and then gave that back to him. And I think this whole situation is weird. Let me first start off by saying that one, I'm not an Andrew Tate fan. I tend to research what's going on with him because of the power that he has and um, his allegiancy with the Trump family. And so, of course, whenever Tate speaks out about something, it is quite likely that Andrew Tate is going to make an impact with his voice. So we have Andrew Tate, we have Elon Musk, and we have the Trumps that are, making an impact across the world with their voices. Now, these aren't voices that I particularly support, but I keep a close eye on it because I know that once there is a tweet or once that there is something going on with these specific voices, that is going to cause a ripple effect. And so I have to admit that I haven't done a lot of research on all things Andrew Tate or Tristan Tate. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm starting to question as to whether we're being misled with this Andrew Tate story. Okay, so let's look at the facts here. So Andrew Tate was allegedly being investigated in Romania for trafficking. Yet he somehow made it out of jail because the argument is that there wasn't the victims who made allegations against him retracted those allegations. And so after that situation happened, what we come to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that Andrew Tate was trying to position himself to run for Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And when he did that, I guess he was testing the waters to see exactly what would happen. After he did that, he started to, um, I would say, tweet information that was in support of Donald Trump. And so those tweets got the attention of Donald Trump, and Donald Trump, I think, tweeted back to say that the holding and the house arrest, I think this was Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and tweeted back and said that the holding of the Tate brothers in house arrest in Romania was just, I guess, I don't want to paraphrase but I will have to because I'm not actually looking at the tweet. But basically, he disagreed with that house arrest. And so that led to Romania actually releasing Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate from house arrest. Once that happened, then Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate took, caught a flight to the state of Florida. And what's in the state of Florida? Excuse me. What's in the state of Florida? Mar-a-Lago, right? Mar-a-Lago is in the state of Florida. So why would Andrew Tate, he's having these, he's tweeting in support of Donald Trump. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't really had enough time to critically think about this. Like, this is just something that just crossed my mind today. And I said, okay, I want to talk about this, but I haven't really um, researched this issue like I should have. So if my arguments seem discombobulated and all over the place, I really do apologize. I'm just putting it together as we are talking. And so Andrew Tate leaves Romania. And he leaves Romania right before he sends a barrage of tweets in support of Donald Trump. And once those tweets go out and Trump sees those tweets, Trump responds and says, hey, this house arrest of Andrew Tate is despicable. And so the Romanian government sees those tweets and they release Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate from house arrest. Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate catch a flight to Florida. We know that Mar-a-Lago is in Florida. Now we're up to date, right? And so once the Tate brothers get to Florida, then now we have at a press conference, DeSantis is being asked about the Tate brothers and whether or not that there's going to be an investigation launched into them. And so this is publicized and allegedly, ladies and gentlemen, allegedly, okay? So allegedly they put an investigation into the Tate brothers, which I don't believe happened. I believe that this was a planned trip. This was a planned trip for Andrew Tate, the Tate brothers, to meet someone in Florida. And once they met that person, whoever that person was that they met in Florida, then they were going to be released, right? Of course, I mean, they were going to just leave that state. And so, do I believe that a real investigation has been launched against the Tate brothers? Absolutely not, ladies and gentlemen. I think that this is a ruse. It's a pretext, right, for something else. And when we think about it, ladies and gentlemen, let's think about it. So that there was a meeting that President Donald Trump had with the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Keir Starmer. And at that press conference as well, they were asked questions about the Tate brothers being in the United States. Now, keep in mind that Andrew Tate has citizenship in the United States and in the United Kingdom. He's a citizen of the United States and he's a citizen of the United Kingdom. And so during this meeting that Prime Minister Starmer had with President Trump, Starmer was saying that this was a live investigation into the Tate brothers and that they were being investigated. And so there was several politicians in the United Kingdom that actually went before, I guess, I don't know what it's called. Is it Parliament? I think they went before Parliament in the United Kingdom and was calling on Prime Minister Keir Starmer to extradite Andrew Tate to the United Kingdom to face charges. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so confused because what we're seeing, right, is so there were allegations against Andrew Tate in Romania, and nothing happened there. There were alleged allegations against, or there were allegations against him in Florida, and nothing happened there. And there's supposed to be allegations against him in the United Kingdom, but nothing is happening here. Are we being misled, ladies and gentlemen? And I'm not talking about what you think I'm talking about. I'm not saying like, are we being misled that like these allegations are lies? No, I mean, I believe the women. And I'm not saying that I believe a faceless woman, but I believe a woman who is really grounded in psychological certainty that this has happened to her. But what I'm saying is, are we being misled by the government? Could Andrew Tate be cooperating with the government in some other investigation, and that this investigation, this alleged trafficking investigation, is just being put up for the public to consume? Is what I want to know. Because how can you be in 3 jurisdictions at one time? Okay, so let's go a step back. How can you be in the continent of Europe and then there be allegations launched against you? Those allegations don't stick. And then you're still in this continent where you have one of the largest countries with the largest intelligence capacities seeking your extradition, but yet you're able to leave that continent and go to the United States where an alleged investigation is being put on you by a government that you're in alignment with, who has actually spoke out in support of you, and then you and then you're able to actually leave that state within the United States and go somewhere else. Because we know that Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, they didn't stay in Florida. They actually left and went to a different state. I think they went to California. Are we being misled about this entire case? Is this case a lie, ladies and gentlemen? Are they lying to us? And when I mean they, is Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, are they lying to us about this? Is Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate cooperating with the United States government in some larger investigation, some larger scheme, something larger? I just don't buy it. Now, again, I know that there's some perspectives some people have. So, for example, we know that Candace Owens is a proponent or a stand of the Tate brothers, and she is chalking this off as a violation of freedom of speech. So basically, she believes that the government is trying to censor Tate, which I don't think so. And she thinks that this is an attempt to restrict his freedom of movement, which I don't think so, because he's able to move around quite fine. What I think is that we're not being told everything in this case, ladies and gentlemen. We're not being told everything. And I'm going to be probably coming back to this once we get an update and once I know more about it. I'm going to be looking into this because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that the Tate brothers are being honest about what's really going on. I think that the Tate brothers is not only playing Candace Owens, but they're playing us as well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the Tate brothers did an interview with Candace Owens, or excuse me, Andrew Tate did an interview with Candace Owens. And I have to be honest, he seemed quite angry in that video. And I almost bought the story that he was putting forward. Like he seemed like legitimately angry. And I almost felt that he was telling the truth. But ladies and gentlemen, when he left to, I think, California, that's when I started to unpack this, and I'm like, something is not right with this story. Like, Andrew Tate is probably cooperating. Like, this is like uh, propaganda being put before the eyes of the American people. It's propaganda being put before the eyes of American people, and we have two people that is leading the charge on this propaganda, which is Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, with Andrew Tate being the most vocal one. Something's happening behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. It's very it's strange to say the least, but I don't think that Andrew Tate is being investigated by any of these authority figures. I don't think that he was really truly being investigated in Romania. I don't think, although, like, yeah, he went through the motion of it, but I don't think that they were like truly investigating him. I think that they were looking for something else, but they weren't really truly investigating him. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes what cops and uh, investigators, what they will do is they will pretend as if they're investigating something specific when they're actually looking for something else. And so initially, I thought that Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate was caught by good cop, bad cops. And so, for example, um, the Romanian government was bad cop that put him under house arrest and uh, confiscated his boy toys, such as these really expensive cars, and held on and froze his bank accounts. And then that caused Andrew Tate to look at the Romanian government as corrupt, right? So it planted a seed in Andrew Tate's mind that this government was actually corrupt. And so what that did in good cop, bad cop, what we know is what happens is that one person will, be the nice person and play like, you know, accommodating and friendly, while the other one is aggressive and mean. So bad cop, Romania, good cop, the United States. And so Andrew Tate probably thought, this is what I was thinking when I first thought about this good cop, bad cop tactic, is that once Andrew Tate uh, felt that Romania was really just a corrupt nation, he would leave that nation and head to the United States, which is a nation that he is under the assumption that protects human rights and that is in alignment with his political beliefs. And once he went to the United States, then they were able to capture him, which it looked like that at first. Right? Didn't it look like that at first? It looked as if, like, all of the, uh, I guess I'm calling it corruption, but to just, for lack of better words, right? All the corruption or all the problems that Tate was having was in Romania. And so he found solace in the United States by tweeting and getting buddying up with the Trump administration and having Trump speak out on his behalf. And so once he left Romania, went to the United States, then what happened? An alleged investigation was launched against him, but I don't think that that really happened. Now, I thought that that was what was happening at first, but ladies and gentlemen, I think something else is going on, because how can an investigation be launched against you in one of the toughest states in the United States when it comes to criminalization, right? And hard criminalization, and that's not to say that the criminalization is right, but when we look at the United States as a whole, one of the countries with that is really tough and sometimes over prosecutes people. So how can you escape that in Florida, where there is an allegation against you and then not flee, but traveled to, I think he went to California. Like, it just it's not making sense to me, ladies and gentlemen. Like, okay, you may say, "Kiana," okay, well, Kiana, you are ignoring that you're ignoring that the Tate brothers are allegedly innocent, or they allegedly didn't do anything wrong. But ladies and gentlemen, like, to reiterate, I didn't have a lot of time to actually go over this story at all. And so my going over it is going over it now with you. But once I think about it, I just don't believe that, I don't think I buy it that the Tate brothers are under investigation. I think that there is something more that's going on. I think that the Tate brothers know of something, and that they're actually informing on something. And so that's just s my supposition right now until I know more. But what I think now is I don't think that a legitimate investigation is being brought against them. I think this is all for the public to see, for the media to put out into the universe and to put out into the ether, to take our attention away from what is really going on behind the scenes that Andrew Tate is really involved in. And we need to be asking what that is. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think? Do you think that I'm wrong about this? Do you think that Andrew Tate is really being investigated by the Romanian, by the United States, and by the United Kingdom governments? Do you think that these are real investigations launched against the Tate brothers? Or do you think that I'm right about this? Do you think I'm onto something? Do you think that this is a smokescreen and that there is something else that's going on, and that the Tate brothers are actually cooperating with these governments and giving these governments some sort of intel about another specific issue? It's something to think about, and it's something that I want to know. And I am going to be following up on this. I think that there is more to this story, and I think it's important for us to keep an eye out on this story. Again, I am not a fan of Andrew Tate, but I know that his words have a lot of sway in the United Kingdom as well as in the United States. Indeed, look, he's able to escape prosecution. And so, I mean, of course, he states that the reason for that is that he is innocent. And I'm a person that I am of the opinion that, a person is innocent until proven guilty. So I'm not going to put any charges on him that are not warranted. But I think that we still should be asking ourselves, are we being told everything about this story? And is there something larger happening behind the scenes? Is a good question. It's the way to think critically. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Remember to follow me on Substack. I'm going to link my Substack in the description of this video. You can also head to my Facebook account. That's where I am actually uploading others' personal stuff and tweeting, excuse me, talking about other things that I don't talk about on here. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's important for me to state that my Facebook account is being actually sometimes is appearing in the search results and sometimes it's not. And for some reason, my Facebook account is being shadow banned because I'm not getting any followers on my account, and none of my posts are being actually uh, put up into the algorithm. And so I don't know if this is Mark Zuckerberg that is doing this, or if this is the cyber hackers that are in the Republic of Ireland that are doing it on the behalf of the Irish government, because I understand that they are engaging in transnational repression, and that they put a Jewish citizen named Thomas Stofile through transnational repression. We know it's not a secret that the Republic of Ireland is in allegedly in solidarity with the Palestinian people, and that there is a lot of anti-Semitism in the Republic of Ireland. So I don't know if the reason why they're suppressing my content is because I know about this, but I know that it has to do with transnational repression, but I'm not sure if it's being done because of the connection with Thomas Stofile and Stofile being a Jewish American. I don't really have the intel on that, but what I do know is that the states that are participating in transnational repression are the Republic of Ireland and are the United States of America. And what I do know is that they're not doing it alone, that they are actually, to reiterate, like I said at the beginning of this video, is that they are contracting, uh, I guess, students or individuals that have intelligence capacities, so very skilled cyber hackers, to carry out these malicious attacks on American citizens. And of course, I'm not sure if Thomas Stofile went through this, but I know that I'm going through it. And so it's quite disconcerting that this is happening. But again, this is for another video, and I might get into this in another video. But what I know for sure is happening is that these cyber attacks are happening. They're coming from the Republic of Ireland. And it's the Irish government that is engaging in these cyber hacks. Now, I can't talk about in any other jurisdiction, but I know that this is an Irish American cyber attack. Now, I don't know about the cyber attacks in the United States, what's going on right now, but what I know that it's happening here is Irish American engaging in these cyber attacks. And I'm 100% certain about that. And that does not mean that this is not. That there's not trickles of other nationalities, that are engaged in it. Of course, I'm pretty sure that they're contracting other people to engage in this attack. So there's confusion about who's doing it, and that's kind of how this whole process works. It works in a way, transnational repression, the soft tactics works in a way to conceal exactly what is going on. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be talking about this in depth in a wider video, but of course not this video. But that is what what I'm bringing for you today. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Remember, you got this. You got this. Have a good night. Bye bye.